Hello and welcome to the Art of Service. My name is Ivanka, and in today's video I am going to give you a bit of a walkthrough through one of our self-assessment toolkits. And the reason why I wanted to do that is I have had some questions from customers, or quite a few customers actually, that are questioning what the toolkits look like. People want to know what's in it, what's the content, and what is this question-based consultancy that you keep talking about. So I'm going to share with you one of our toolkits, and it's going to be the IT Management Review Toolkit. So it's a self-assessment toolkit. So let me pull that up for you so you can have a look. And this is the content of the IT Management Review Self-Assessment Toolkit. And as you can see, there's a README file. So if you are going to get this toolkit or any of the other toolkits, make sure you start with the README file. Then there's some frequently asked questions. And then there are four separate folders with questions. So step one is a folder with a sample, an example self-assessment, and a self-assessment booklet. So in this sample there are 49 questions. So it's a really small sample, but it gives you a really good understanding of the type of questions that we will be asking and the type of questions that you can use as part of a self-assessment. It also has the separation of the questions based on the maturity level of the business processes that we're talking about. So all the business processes in relation to IT management review. So you'll have recognize, define, measure, analyze, improve, control, and sustain. And each of these steps basically form a higher level of maturity, a more mature approach to the business processes. So if you're new to self-assessments and if you're new to our toolkits, I would recommend you start with step one. Then if you want to have a good overview of the questions in relation to IT management review, or basically you want to see all the questions, go to the questionnaire in the Excel spreadsheet, and this is where you have up to 1,000 questions based on IT management review. So all these questions again are collated based on the maturity level. So it starts with recognize, then it goes to define, then it goes to measure, analyze, improve, control, and sustain. And this is the strength of the toolkit. It has questions that you can use as part of your consultancy brief, you can use as part of management team meetings or stakeholder presentations. It really helps you to get the conversation going. It helps you to get people to think about IT management reviews in ways that they probably have never thought about them before. So for example, I'm just picking one purely at random. How much are sponsors, customers, partners, stakeholders involved in IT management review? In other words, what are the risks if IT management review does not deliver successfully? So this is a question that people may not have thought about. And you can use that as I said earlier, as a discussion starter. If you're going to do a self-assessment with your customers or with your team, don't feel that you have to answer each and every one of the questions, because like I said, there's up to 1,000 questions in here, and that's a lot and can be quite overwhelming. So don't feel you have to do everything at once. You can select a number of questions, or you can simply go through the assessment and stop when you had enough. So there's a couple of ways to approach this. But that's in step two. And then there's also the PDF booklet that you can use if you want to do the self-assessment paper-based with a team as part of a workshop or a facilitated exercise. You can do all these questions, these questionnaires, paper-based. So print off as many copies of the book as you need. Then step three, these questions are not, well, basically they're not just questions. These are resources that help you with your implementation project. So for example, as part of your planning of your project, you can see there's quite a few documents here. There's about 39 different documents, and each and every one of the documents will have questions specifically around a topic, and in this case, roles and responsibilities for planning an implementation project. And these are checklists again, so it can be a tick and flick because you already use a project management methodology, or it can be used to double check that you have ticked all the boxes, to double check that you don't forget anything. And does the team have access to an ability to use the data analysis tools? Are your budgets supportive of a culture of quality data? So those are the kinds of questions that you may want to think about. And it's really a trigger for you and your team to say, hey, we never even thought about this, or hey, that is something we need to include in our project. And then every one of these documents will have templates. So in this case, a resource role description, authority, responsibility of that particular role, to really help you solidify the different roles and responsibilities that are part of your project. So every one of these 39 documents will have templates at the back of the question list. And then the last folder with questions is this one with the checklist. So I'll just give you a different view. And what we've done here is, from the 1,000 questions in the self-assessment questionnaires, we have we basically made a selection for you. What are the questions that are specifically for business? What are the questions that are specifically for information? What are the questions that are specifically around management? So if you want a quick checklist for a particular subject, for in this case for information, go through this list, so you have more focus on information only related questions, so you don't have to do the search in the Excel spreadsheet. So that saves you a lot of time, and it just helps you with identifying what the questions are in relation to information. As you can see, the toolkit is very heavily focused on questions. And we've done that deliberately, because as long as you keep asking questions, you keep learning. And as long as you keep asking questions, people have to think about the answers. So it really starts the conversation and the discussion within the organization. It really helps to understand the maturity levels of the business processes in the organization. And it just helps you as the consultant to have this canon, this resource of up to 1,000 questions, that you don't have to start from scratch. You don't have to think or sit at a blank screen or a blank piece of paper to think about what would be a good question to ask in relation to this topic. You go through the toolkit and you cherry pick. It's so much easier than starting from scratch. So I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions in relation to our self-assessment toolkits or any of the other products and services that we offer, or you would like some help, just let us know. Contact us. There's a contact form on the website, and we'd be more than happy to have a chat with you. So with that, thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.